Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the MikiDz Podcast, episode 39.
39?
Yeah,
Damn,
39.
We hitting the foes.
Man. Yeah.
It's getting real. Well,
yes, sir.
Welcome back, fellas. How we feeling? Everybody healthy?
Yes, sir. Man.
Feeling good.
Feeling like strong as ox.
You know, we got to do a temperature check on how we're doing since the last episode, not just with us, but with the listeners as well. Like, and what I mean by temperature check is how are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Are you in a better space?
Absolutely.
You know, are you in a neutral space? Are you in a positive space? Are you still in funk? So
those thoughts.
Those thoughts. So you got to check in on people, make sure they're just doing well. And I mean, you guys, everything good?
Everything's good,
Great.
man. I'm in a way better space, state of mind than our previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
Come to terms with what is happening and just looking at utilizing the neutral space as we talked last time with Joseph, but also having some positive
DJ Rell.
thinking and moving forward. So I'm great, man. I cannot complain.
Oh yeah,
I'm loving it. I think it's so funny that there's so many times that we're on the move so much in our lives, trying to get from one thing to another, whether it be a gig or, commitment that we've made or a meeting, and things are always like stacked up on each other as much as they can. And, it's kind of a breath of fresh air, honestly, to have so many things slow down or not be open for you to congest your day with. And I'm just enjoying the slow motion of things.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, not to sound like an asshole, but I am enjoying this downtime. I'm enjoying more time with my family. I'm enjoying fixing shit and cleaning shit and catching up on other stuff that needs to be done. So you got to make the most of it, right?
Yeah, wifey's hairstylist, she mentioned to her that, she's constantly booked, has her own studio in Sherman Oaks, doing X amount of clients every day. And she says, listen, I do not feel bad about sitting on my ass for the next month.
Yeah.
I bust my ass every day of the week.
Right.
And I'm taking this time and I don't feel bad about doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And you can't. Why would you? You know what I mean?
Well, we're going to really be tested in a week or two when everyone's done cleaning out the garage.
Well, I haven't started that process yet. I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that.
Yeah.
The color coordinated closets.
Yeah. Like when that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're all DJs and we got crates, so we got a bit of a infinite amount of work that we could always go back to if we really want to.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing I've noticed, there's all these challenges, and
God.
obviously you guys have noticed it as well. But have you guys partaken in any of the challenges?
I have.
How many challenges have you been hit?
Wait,
I can't tell you.
Which ones have you done on your own and which ones were you a part of association? Because you got brought into a couple.
I got brought into a couple.
By a couple situations.
Yeah. I didn't, because at first I was like, I'm not doing this shit. And I refuse to do it. I'm not going to do it.
That's the Rell I know.
But then I was just like, fuck it. What else do I got to do? Fuck it. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to come off as that guy and be like, oh, Rell never wants to be, never is down to do whatever. Like he wants to be. Guy. Yeah, I know. He wants to be the outcast. So I was like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for me to go against the grain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do something what they don't expect me to do. So I was like, like you said, by association, I did these. I didn't start any. I didn't, choose to do anything.
Right.
A couple people called me out to do something, so I did them. You know what I mean? Close friends that asked me to do them. So I just did the shot one.
Yep.
Our trainer called me out on that one.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Right.
And then the push-up one, obviously.
Okay.
Close friend of ours.
How many? 50 push-ups?
No, the one that I did, I think was only like 20 or 10 or 20 or something like that. It wasn't like 50 or 100. I've gotten called out to do 150. I said, I'm working out.
150?
No, I said 50 or 100. No, I'm not doing it. But
that's a minute. That's
I get
2
it.
minutes.
People were doing it to stay active and stay in shape or whatever. I'm still working out, so I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing 100 push-ups. Yeah. I just did an hour and a half session this morning. I'm not doing 100 push-ups. Fuck out of here.
Or you could be like our boy Andre, who did push-ups and took a shot.
Yeah.
He took a shot after the push-up?
He did them together.
Straight to the head from the bottle, from the
He
Hennessy.
must be bored.
He had to make up for his significant other lack of push-ups that she was doing. I love you, E.
We love you. We miss you.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I did one 50 push-up situation. I recorded it. I didn't post it because I was like, ain't nobody want to see my ass fucking doing push-ups.
I would. That's motivating, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Someone your size doing push-ups?
Like Stanley at the office doing 20 push-ups or 30.
You can do 20 to get out of here early.
What you're seeing is something we've never seen. Like a mother lifting a car to get a baby out.
Because we did them here, and we've been staying active during this downtime with the shop. We constantly have to deal with orders, customers, people always coming in, managing payroll, right? Like trying to like not drown ourselves with too much work. And so one of the nights after we were done doing inventory, I told the guys, I was like, come on, let's just record getting our push-ups on. We'll challenge another store or something. And then we knocked them out, and I think we had committed to 20. And I was feeling good. Like I hadn't done much, you know, on the upper body. So I was just like, you know what, let's keep going. I went to 50. But you can't see my legs in it. So I was like, you know what, people are going to judge me because they can't see my full form. So I'm going to redo them another day.
What about you, Joe? You do any?
I've been hit to do push-ups. Didn't do them. Been hit to do this woman DJ asked me to do, I don't know what she asked, but it's something to do with baking. And I don't know, something with baking.
Someone baked.
Yeah, it's like she baked a loaf of bread and tagged me, or I forgot what she said, but.
Are you a known baker?
No.
Because I was like, that's something new that I never knew about you.
She's probably just trying to get me to do something new. And then shout out to Tony Clark and Drift. They asked me to post a live footage, like of your live club footage. You rocking a club. I gotta do that.
You gotta do
I will do that, but yeah, all the other ones, I don't know. Care for, I just haven't been hit to do them. So
I got hit with like the get a bucket challenge. I've of course partook in that. The just playing basketball. And you have like a
yeah.
But that happened really early, full lockdown. I felt so. It's like, it's not really one of those annoying ones that are coming around. No disrespect to my friends, but you know.
It reminds me of the actual bucket challenge that they did to raise ice bucket challenge.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of that. You know, just went viral and everybody was just doing it.
But there's like a new challenge every day.
Hey, I mean, listen, people got a lot of time on their hands.
A lot of time. Everyone's trying to, stay relevant.
Yeah.
On
Anybody
Instagram.
tired of TikToks yet?
I don't.
Wrong
guy to ask.
I thought I was gonna be when this first started. I thought I was gonna be. Wifey's been trying to get me to do a TikTok for the longest, and I keep telling her I'm down, let's do it. But she's indecisive about which one she wants to do. So I'm like, well, when you figure out which one you want to do, then we'll do it. Right. Until then, I'll be sitting right here.
Wait. Are you at that point in your relationship where if there's something you don't care to do, and she asks you to do that thing, but you know she's gonna be indecisive about it, you're gonna say, let's do it.
Absolutely,
my man. Smart, because if you say no, she's always gonna say, "Oh, you never want to do the things." But if I know you're gonna be indecisive about it, let's do it. I'm waiting on you.
Let's do it. You tell me when and where. Let's go.
Is that you calling her bluff, or is it like just being putting yourself in the best position to win?
I guess you could. I guess you could, in perspective, you could say that you calling her bluff, but. I mean,
but you got to be as cool as a cucumber when she says, "All right, I figured out. Let's do it." All right,
cool. Let's go.
You can't be like,
you can't make it. Just like you've already made the commitment to it. Yeah, you just said it. All right, cool.
Because then you don't want to be known as that boyfriend that's like, he always just
was never down to do anything. Never wants to do anything I want to do.
Yeah, you don't.
It's always what he wants to do.
I love it. I love that energy.
But but that's exactly what it is. I agree. Like, let's do it. So I'm waiting to do it. If you guys
go back in the studio. Let me know when you're ready.
Right? Exactly. If you guys see a TikTok surface in the next week or so.
She followed through.
Yeah, she saw this episode and she followed through.
For entertainment purposes. Thanks for the sacrifice, Rell, for entertainment.
We're going to have to post that on the MikiDz Show IG, man. We don't need that.
That's a clip. We need that.
That's a clip for sure. Maybe we'll try to do a TikTok before we leave here, huh?
Have you guys done TikTok yet?
No. I started posting those Danger tracks on there, but months ago.
Oh yeah.
I don't even look at TikTok.
It's going crazy.
You still have the app though.
Yeah.
I think it's just ultimately the algorithm is still untouched or messed with per se.
Yeah.
So
open forum.
It's
free for all.
But no conspiracy, right? Between it being
no
a
one's
Chinese
made that connection yet.
And
but if there is, you heard it here first.
And according to our president,
listen here.
a Chinese virus, as he said. Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
Anyway, any other challenges here? Well, look, while we're on the topic of IG, clearly we started the episode with D-Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me start real quick. I gotta
Did you do the Mickey drop?
This is my
And a
fault. Wah,
trombone.
wah, 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 right? I went on the record last week talking all this mess about Instagram Live not being the best platform for you to put yourself out there. I don't know what dropped that. Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
God.
lot of you.
It's a lot of me. There
All
is a
you.
lot of me physically. But I will say this, I clarified this on Twitter.
Protect yourself.
I just insurance. You always buy the insurance. Unless it's travel insurance. That shit's
No, always say no.
nightmare. Always say no. But I didn't say to not do it. I just said it's not the best platform or way to do it. I will say this, that there was a very particular line of the planets and the moons that occurred. And I think, D-Nice is just one of those dudes where
It's an anomaly.
he covers a lot of different bases when it comes to his network and who he is.
Yeah.
And I think we all have an appreciation for not only his music taste, and him as a DJ. I really didn't know him as a DJ very much. And I got a lot of respect for his skill set. He's dope, charismatic, and has great selection. And I mean, look, if you're anybody that's anybody, your PR is telling you to log in.
Yeah.
It's literally, I mean, we could name so many people, but start at the Oprahs, the Michelle Obamas,
Man.
the Gabrielle Unions,
Yeah.
The DJ Khaled's, the
DJ
Diddy's.
Khaled's, the Bernie Sanders.
Everybody was in that.
He
Mark
did something with
Zuckerberg.
he did something with Michelle Obama, right?
He's about to.
I think that was today.
Oh, he did
Oh, no,
it today.
it's yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we're recording
It's
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what day it is these days.
Man.
Fellas, I'm going to tell you right now. I did not know what today was when I woke up.
Bruh.
Well,
But-
look, I want to triple down on something because not
Yeah.
that I was thinking this in the time, and we can probably still go back and forth on this.
Yeah.
But I want to triple down on why I would continue to encourage DJs, and we don't have to get into this right this moment. We can do it further down the line of this episode. But now people are listening to DJs that have taste and skill set as opposed to the DJ with the most followers or
Sure.
the best looking brand. There's a lot of DJs that get paid very, very well, and they don't do, and they have the most basic sets, but because of their brand and their relationships, they'll get booked, right?
Right.
Now people are tuning into the DJs that have great taste, that have and that have great skills. So we had this chart of 3 things to live and die by for your DJ brand. It's skills being the last one, brand being 2, and relationships first. You can probably go in and out with 1 and 2. Now, I think once all this is said and done, skills is going to move up a tier. And what I think is going to happen is all these DJs that continue to do IG Live and continue to build a following for whatever reason. D-Nice is different because we all know when we did the MikiDz Show, or when we do the MikiDz Show at DJcity, the chat room is the best part, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit, Crazy's in there, Zach's in there.
Right.
You know, all these guys are in there, so it's popping.
Right.
That's really, to me, that's outside of the song selection and a few other things. That's what made D-Nice's IG Live dope.
Yeah, it was a party.
You saw Drake in there. You saw Drake's name. You saw Obama. You saw all that. So that attracted a lot of people to say, "What am I missing out on?" And if she co-signs on him, if the first lady co-signs on him, then yeah, I'm a co-sign on too. So there's that. But I do think DJs are going to get the opportunity, or they're getting opportunity now to be heard, because no one wants to sit and hear a set of just the Baby and Migos and Cardi. Like, people are open to anything right now because there ain't shit to do. But and people more than ever, I think, are just like, well, let me try something different.
You're gonna get flagged if you post any of that, play any of that shit anyways. So
you're getting the opportunity to be heard, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm also tripling down. Again, I wasn't thinking this at the time, but I've talked to, again, we can get into this later, but I've talked about 4 bookers on what's going to happen when all this is said and done, whether it's a few months from now or 6 months. And they all had different reasons or different ideas on what's going to happen. But they all agreed that these guys are going to get an opportunity to be booked now. The skilled DJs are going to get an opportunity to be booked and heard. Now, granted, they got their foot in the door when this is all said and done. What's always been an issue with a lot of skills DJs and guys that do a lot of tricks, can you hold a dance floor?
Right.
And that's up to them to maintain that dance floor as opposed to, yeah, look at me. I was that guy on IG Live doing this and that. No one really cares to some degree.
No, because you're not really you're not partaking really in that energy other than what you're doing around the house.
Yeah.
Like I could be listening to a podcast and I'm feeling good around the house too.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't come down to those moments. It is interacting and feeling a real crowd.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it. And I would also, doubling down on my position, right? It's what Rell said is really important. Also, is not everybody's being given this opportunity equally. Like there's a lot of DJs who are getting taken down while doing live.
That's unfortunate.
They're getting cut off short. Now, not everybody has Mark Zuckerberg pulling up to their IG Live like D Nice did, right? So then that can also become confusing, I think, sometimes. So again, and I have this as a comparison. So I went off, took a chance here and jumped off the I don't know what the term is here, but
ledge,
sure. And finally said, fuck it, let me put something out, right? As a DJ, because I don't really put
a piece of content.
Piece of content, right? Normally, everybody knows me for belly buckets, fat guy playing basketball, looks great. Boxing, been great. The sneaker stuff is cool. DJ stuff, don't get to put it out as much because it doesn't engage great for me. Put out a little mini mix, got in my feelings, if you will, and got inspired and put something out. And so my argument was, and shout out to Andy War, who literally grills me every day.
It's his job
to do IG Live.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is hilarious because I don't think he listens to the pod on a weekly basis.
I was getting ready to say, what?
Andy is his brother.
He's probably tired of hearing my voice as it
probably.
is. But he probably he's not caught up and hasn't heard me, going off on doing live. So anyway, he's on me. He's like, why aren't you on this wave? Everybody's doing it. Who cares how many people are in there? At least you're influencing, blah, 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 blah.
True.
So all I can go is by numbers, right? So a very respectable friend of the pod did his IG Live a couple of days ago, and he showed his numbers. This is someone who has a little more than 2 times my followership.
Which
is known for being a DJ. That's his demographic. People follow his shit. He's got his 150, 200, sometimes 300 people in there at a time. And then at the end, everybody posts a recap of how many, or they say, they never tell you how many people were in there at once. They tell you how many people showed up.
The max number.
The max number, right? Of the reach, right? So there's whatever. So his number was around 5,500 or something like that, right? For total.
Okay.
I put out this piece of content. It's just under 5 minutes long, and it'll live. And its current reach is 5,800.
Okay.
And I committed probably, let's call it 35 minutes of time between recording, exporting, and editing and getting it up, right? Pause. Or not. But it's up there.
For the record, you don't ever have to pause with me.
Okay.
Because it just messes up the
You do
with
with me.
conversation.
I'd be pausing for no reason.
It's okay.
Okay. Play. So
Push play.
But what I'm putting at is like, it doesn't require me to sit there for an hour to reach 5,800 people. There's just different approaches. Now, I'm not knocking it. I think it's great because, like you said, it's like going to the club and networking.
Yeah.
I'll do my rounds. I'll I'll hit
the
homies, check it out, see what's going on. Oh, that's dope. Cool. I'll check back in later. Say what's up to whoever.
Yeah. And I'll counter that with this. And you can only do... My counter only works in this moment in time. You sleep 7 hours a day, and then what do you do with the rest of your time? Right. So why not do both? You know what I mean? It's not like you got shit to do throughout the whole day. I'll see if I can squeeze it in. And that's why it only works right now. If you wake up at, let's say, 9 o'clock, you know, you do your morning routines. You got the whole afternoon to record a mix or do you a routine, and then you can pick and choose when you want to do it live.
Yeah, no, and that's a great point. I think people have a different, I don't know, luxury of time than I would, because I'm still operating a business while all this is happening.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So that's where and again, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong. I think everybody has their own approach.
No, it's just a good conversation to hear both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. And I felt like it with numbers, now that I have numbers and I've seen someone's numbers and I've seen my numbers, and my approach and their approach, I think it just gives you a more realistic situation versus a hypothetical where we were last week.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously D-Nice, like, I mean, the man jumped from 50,000 followers to 1 million.
To 1 million.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
That is insane.
No, he's 1.5 now, right?
You couldn't buy that.
He was at 300,000 actually.
2.
Oh, 200.
He started out at 2.
200, yeah.
And then when I checked like 4 days ago, he was at 1 million. And I heard he's at 1.5. By the time this is out, he might be at 2.
Bro, there is nobody in this world you could pay for that type of growth.
No.
In that amount of time.
No, absolutely. D-Nice definitely set the bar. I think he enhanced a lot of cats, a lot of DJs, I should say. He definitely helped that. So just like your average bedroom DJ who only has a couple hundred, couple thousand followers, who are only averaging 20 to 50 people in there, it enhanced it now, because now people are looking for the DJs on IG Live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
people
of
are just
this
looking
whole
for
thing.
content on live now.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for anything on live right now. You know, there's literally DJs that'll go on and they're not mixing. They'll play tracks and they're literally talking. Records. They're talking to people, explaining records, or, talking about their experience when this record came out, or whatever, the situation is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's cats, like you said, there's cats not on there that's actually like DJing and what you call it, but I feel like it's a great platform. The IG Live I'm speaking about is a great platform just to get a response from someone, you know what I mean? As opposed to putting out a mix or, a piece of content like yourself and stuff like that, but to get a response from someone, even if it is just, like you said, the chat room is popping right now.
I heard Questlove was like playing records that are unreleased and like...
Really?
Like
I didn't get a chance to check out Questlove.
Or like acapellas of stuff that didn't come out, and like just crazy, like what Just Blaze did for us at the MikiDz Show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Playing records that might have not come out or it was a different version. I think that part is amazing to me. Like, you geek out on the music side of things.
Yeah.
What has been some of you guys' favorites, some DJs, your favorite IG Live so far?
I've only seen a couple, to be honest. I'm so busy with my own shit. Like I stepped in the Vice's world for about 10, 20 minutes.
Shout out to Phenom.
Phenom shot me a reminder or shot us a message saying to check it out. And then I checked out Scene as well.
Dope.
About 10, 20 minutes. Those guys are all world. So that was cool. But I don't think I stepped into anybody else's.
If I could give a recommendation, if you are interested in watching lives and different things like that, highly recommend watching it on Chrome and logging into your Instagram on there.
I heard that doesn't, they don't have that.
And then you Google Instagram Stories Chrome, and you have a plugin, and then the plugin allows you to watch lives
on the
Chrome,
laptop,
and then you could stream that on your computer laptop.
Yeah, I was trying to do it on my laptop, but obviously I couldn't do it. And then I was Googling how you can do it, and it was talking about it, but they said it wasn't available anymore. So that's when my research just stopped.
Yeah, I'll send you a link, because I've been able to watch. I just have it on. I have the dual screen situation right now at the crib. So I've been able to put the live on one side, do my work on the other
side,
and then have my phone free to be able to do whatever else. So that's been a cool little luxury. But I would recommend that. Best sound situation.
Yeah. That's good.
I would say D-Nice for sure.
Obviously. Outside of D-Nice.
Outside of D-Nice would probably be Questlove. Shout out to the ladies, women DJs.
Charisma, Bella.
They did the Women Crush Wednesday. I checked in that for a second. I got to show love to Just Incredible, who's doing a different approach, which is, hearing out rappers and have them do their thing on live, and then kind of like connect with them. And then he'll have A&Rs in the chat room, like listening as well. Yeah. So to give people an opportunity, different platforms.
Yeah.
And trying to think, Chris Villa
was amazing.
He's killing it.
Yeah, he'll be on DJcity. He's doing
Yeah.
DJcity
shout out to
as well.
DJcity. Yo,
Yeah.
Angie V is killing it.
Yeah.
I gotta give her flowers. She's like getting dressed up, doing themes, like her
Nice.
whole situation, and she's hitting numbers. Like with her followership to
Makes
her
sense, yeah.
engagement, like she's hitting 900 to 1K live viewers at
Wow.
a time.
Nice.
So I gotta give
Good
her
for her.
flowers because she's doing it right. Trying to connect DJcity and them. Maybe they'll do their thing
Dope.
together one day. And then I think that's kind of the people that stand out. How about you, bro?
Outside of Chris Villa and those guys, I mean, I think Dre Sinatra did a great thing when he brought Ty Dolla
Shout
on.
out to Dre, man.
Yeah, he
Todd Dillerson?
Todd Dillerson.
Oh man,
He's the biggest rapper I've
yeah, wow. You look like Todd Dillerson? No, you mean Ty Dolla Sign?
Yo,
Yeah.
you gotta go to Lil Dicky's
New
Instagram.
show.
Ty
Yeah.
commented on that shit.
For any of you guys who don't know what we're talking about, please be sure to check out that new show, Dave.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah,
Lil Dicky on Hulu,
we'll do
yeah.
it. That's a whole segment for us. That's how
yeah.
serious it is.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think Dre Sinatra did a great job. Obviously, all the guys and all the DJs that you guys mentioned have been doing great. I also want to shout out some of the artists that have been going on live. Anthony
Yeah.
Hamilton did like a little mini concert from his living room.
Shit.
Yeah,
Was
John Legend.
dope. John Legend, Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
Like all these, they're literally just doing little concerts from like their living rooms or the studios or whatever. And it's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, most of these artists, if not all these artists, had to either cancel or postpone their tour dates.
Yeah.
So they're at least giving us something that, you know what I mean? Like the people who have bought tickets or whatever
Yeah.
and are fans of them, giving them something, some sort of content that they can, you know, check in. So I think I really appreciated that. I thought that was dope.
Big ups to Just Blaze too.
Yeah.
He was doing similar to the MikiDz set, like pulling out samples, playing it on the controller, and then being like, "Y'all know where that's from?" And then play the record. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Nerding out.
just geeking out, man.
We got to talk about,
He chop it up
got to
live.
talk about the Swiss Beats and the Timberland.
Oh,
The
I
Swiss-
missed that.
you missed that?
Man.
Oh my god!
Listen, I want to start off.
I just
first-
saw a clip of Swiss Beats hitting his chin on the pad. I'm like,
Listen,
what the fuck's going on?
I want to
here?
start off by saying anyone under the age of 30 did not really appreciate it. I saw so many young cats hating on this shit that it was making me sick to my stomach. Right?
Did you ID them at the door?
And then
You're
like, man, listen. I was just,
You're on the
listen,
30.
It
get
is,
outta
it is
here.
a lot of like cats out there that we know that are under the age of 30 and they're doing very well for themselves. And they were kind of like throwing some shade and being like, oh, this shit is a snooze fest, blah, blah, blah. Like you motherfuckers don't understand the catalog that these two producers have. Like these motherfuckers was producing shit while y'all niggas was a fucking seed in your daddy's sack.
Yeah.
Like you
Real talk.
you
Talk
gotta
to 'em.
understand. You gotta understand, man. Like it was like listening to that shit, man. How many times? Obviously you didn't catch it, but you were watching it for a while, correct?
Absolutely. And I'm happy we get to have this conversation because you grew up in New York. And
Yes.
I think. Go ahead with your thought. And
Okay.
I'll jump in.
I just wanted to say that like it was so great because there was so many times where I'd be like, yo, I forgot about this track, bro. And
yeah.
it was just like, and it just resonated so hard. And I think I don't want to say more so than anyone. Like if I had to pick one, who won the battle? Who won the catalog?
Zone.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm like, man, and it's hard for me because Swiss Beats is just, but I just think Timberland's catalog is wider.
Okay.
You know, he touches the Timberlakes, the Nelly Furtados, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he hit that pop realm that Swiss didn't so much hit. I think the poppest that he got was Drake.
You
For the
know,
most part.
I'm just happy that that's what you said. That's all for now.
Oh,
Go ahead.
one thing that amazes me about Timbaland, I was watching the Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix weeks ago, and they mentioned Timbaland and what he's done. And I'm thinking what he was doing at that time with Aaliyah and Genuine and Missy, and I don't mean to say, for lack of better words, it was underrated because there was so much cool shit that was out at that time. But
absolutely.
if you take Timbaland's movement and that little click, like you can put that to compete in any generation of music and it'll do some mopping.
Any
generation.
I say to this day, Genuine's 100% album, the one that Timbaland produced front to back,
Yeah.
is probably in the top 3, top 5 R&B albums of all time. And I am down to argue with anybody about that.
And the samples he was using was like the weirdest shit. And he was getting it off in the early 90s, mid 90s.
Bro, like crazy. I encourage anyone to go back and listen to that album and really hone in on the production of that album. Like, it's stupid. And like you said, it was pretty much ahead of its time. Yeah. A lot of shit was coming out of that time that was dope. You know, you had Premier coming out with shit. You had Dilla coming out with shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Pete Rock, like, all these great producers at that time were coming out with amazing stuff. So
it was unreal.
It could have gotten lost in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was amazing. So when he was pulling out the Aaliyah shit, when he was playing Aaliyah shit, I was like, yo, Swiss, you can't touch nothing, my nigga. You was too young for this, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think all the points you made were really great.
Yeah.
In regards to it, what I did observe is a couple things. Timbo definitely had a lot of wine towards the end.
Hey.
Oh yeah,
he was really having a good time, and he he was going back to his that scene from was it Fates Black?
Yeah,
where he was drinking the Tampico out the gallon.
He would play the track and be like,
yeah, he was on that, but it was with wine, so it was a little more matured. I could feel for his daughter who looked embarrassed of his dad, but he was enjoying himself, and he played a couple songs twice, but. I stand with you on the sense of Tim having the winning at least that back and forth.
Yeah.
And the reason why I really wanted to hear from your side is because Swiss has so much energy, right?
Yeah.
And he's just zone, right? Like he's on it and he's the man. But I think he really did something for New York that at the time, I didn't really embrace that, right? Like I didn't really know a lot of those records.
The DMX era?
That I was definitely all about DMX and Rough Riders and what he was doing. But the B-sides I should say maybe more the C-side records that he was hyped up on isn't going up against Get Your Freak On, isn't going up against Justin Timberlake record. Like, yo, when he played Holy Grail, like, and this was one of the things I even like had to tweet, like, Swiss was talking madness to Tim, like, yo, like, you out here, like, showing off records that DJs play when nobody's in the club, but Swiss is countering with records that nobody's got in their Serato.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not carrying all the Swiss beats, like, but CD records.
To counter that, I think that has a lot to do with the artist.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? The artist, you can't compare Eve, who Swiss works with, with a Nelly Furtado or
I feel you on that.
Britney Spears or something like that. That you know what I mean. That Timbaland would work with. I say Timbaland has it because of the range, the diversity in the artists that he produced for.
When Tim played two R&B records, right?
Yeah.
Swiss goes, no, don't go there. Because he knows he can't go there. He can't follow.
Exactly. And I agree with you. 100%.
He's like, yo, keep it in my game.
I think the quality, if we're talking about the quality of the production,
look,
they're kind of hand in hand, neck and neck with each other.
Sure. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Swiss didn't pioneer any other sound other than his. Timbo pioneered sounds every decade and consistently created the trend versus Swiss being his own trend. Like Swiss has his sound.
Yeah.
And yes, he's made a couple, like the Angie Stone record, nobody really knew. The Drake, right? Like that's where his R&B bag could go a little bit. I didn't know, but like he dropped one of the Kanye records that God damn it.
He dropped a Kanye record.
That's a Hit Boy joint.
Yeah, he didn't produce it. He's just on it.
He's on it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, like, I
That's
get it.
That's a different ball game.
Yeah.
But, because Tim ain't all up in the records. But he could have gone there with some Magoo shit. I don't know, like, you know.
Oh, man.
He might even, I don't think he even dropped the drop. Maybe he did. I don't know. But it's such a long clip. But at the end of the day, I think with Tim, and yes, his diverse sounds, pioneering sounds, and Swiss kind of just, his box can only go so wide. So I think Timbo got it, but I did see a lot of people who I respect their palette for music, and they're like, it's neck and neck and it's close, and I'm like, damn, like I don't think
it comes down to personal taste.
Yeah. That's
like,
what I mean.
like a lot of people like the energy in Swiss Beats track, so
100%.
they're gonna side with Swiss.
When he's hyping it up, I was hyped. I was like, "This is dope. What is this?"
Timbaland may be more musical and, like to your point, has a wider range. But I will say Timbaland, and this to your point as well. But Timbaland changed music for us DJs on what we're playing when he came out with not only Sexy Back but The Way I Are. Yeah, music changed. Everything just went up tempo, and it was a whole different thing. And then, I mean, I think Icebox, but that didn't really change him. But at that moment, it was the biggest thing out there.
Yo, when he played the Bryson Tiller,
people were in shock. I forgot Timbaland produced that shit.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
He produced that. Yo,
man.
But when he dropped it, the whole chat was like, "What?"
Yo, and
that's the Street Fighter joint.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know he did that.
I was like, yo, I forgot about it. And then that just reminded me, I was like, yo, if he dropped some shit that he produced for Tink, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, yo, it's not even fair. I'm like I said, I was a huge Swiss fan, but I'm biased. I've been a Timbaland fan since, the early Aaliyah Genuine days or whatever. Like I've always been that. But growing up, Rough Riders, DMX, The Lox, I was what? Yeah. Oh, you couldn't tell me shit when that shit came on.
That was my shit.
I got to give it to Tim, man.
I got to quote myself from my tweet. Timbaland makes music for spots where you got to know someone to get in. Swiss makes music for spots that have police parked out front on them.
You ain't shit.
It's just a different energy, bro.
Oh man. But
that was something that was great, man. For a great moment. I think we were all up late, and it definitely shook things up, and definitely looking forward to the Hit Boy Wonder that passed. When this airs.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's gonna be a good one.
I'm sure that's great.
I want to ask you guys' opinion on something. And I don't know if you guys saw this or not on social media, but I don't want to throw nobody's name out there. But a well-known DJ who kind of travels a little bit tweeted or Instagram something basically saying, I'm sick and tired of seeing DJs hate on other DJs. You know what I mean? They were like, it's sickening. This shouldn't be something how we should operate, whatever. If you know of a DJ that hates on another one, on another DJ, at that DJ right now. And I said,
sounds counterproductive.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah, that's a contradiction. They're like, you know what I mean? I was like, that don't make no sense. You basically just said you don't like DJs hating on one another, but you want other DJs.
You want to instigate shit.
You want to instigate other DJs hating on the DJs that they don't like hating on. Like it didn't make sense to me, and I was like, maybe am I reading too much into it, or?
No, I just think we said this before a number of times on the show. DJs get bored on Twitter and they just want to say some shit to get attention. End of the day, even if they don't know it, or realize it, they're just saying shit to get attention because they're bored.
And then regardless if that attention is negative or positive, you're still responding to that. So now you just gave the DJ what they wanted. Or that, that's in general. That person spews some negativity out. If you respond to it, you basically gave that person what they were looking for. A response. So you know what I mean? The best thing to do is don't even pay it any attention and move forward.
Take the high road, man.
Yeah.
Ignore
people going, hey, I get it. It's frustrating. Like, we all have probably experienced this ourselves where someone would say some shit that we don't like, and it's at the fingertips for us to either respond verbally or, through text or whatever. And we kind of like, you know what? I'm not even going to go there with them.
Sometimes it helps to just type out everything you want to say and then delete it and then just keep it moving. But yeah, I'm definitely more conscious about what I respond to or what I say, because I know what time it is right now. Like, cats are thirsty. Cats are just trying to get content out or engage, whether it's positive or negative. But
that's what it is.
It's a lot of times, if we really think about the situation, what you don't say is louder than what you could say.
Yeah.
And I think being conscious of yourself, your brand, and even if nobody interacts with it online, people still see it. And they might not tell you because they go the higher road, but they see it.
Yeah.
There's for sure DJs, respectfully, that as a company we may never fuck with because we see how they move.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people observe that. And
I saw it. Yeah. For example, like I saw it I didn't respond to it, but I saw it and I'm just like, all right, cool. You know, like, and you know, I don't have
Hey, at them, bro.
I have a personal relationship. I'm cool with them. We're cordial. If I see them if I see this DJ out in the street,
Yeah.
what's up, and then keep it pushing. But seeing that now, it's just like, all right, you know, my mindset is a little different when the approach comes. I'm still cordial.
I think when you run into these guys out and about, the tough guys out, they're pussies.
Oh, 100%.
End of the day, they're pussies.
You apply pressure, they fold.
Yeah.
Like on every level, like running around with Red Foo and seeing how guys talk sideways about him on Twitter, and then when he's in their presence, they're cool.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh shit, you were real tough a few weeks ago. Now that we're at the same festival and sharing the same stage, like everything's good, you know?
Man.
And so there's like that level where you're millionaires and you're talking your shit and whatever. And then you're at this level where we're all fighting for not fighting, but we're all chasing the same bookings and, you know, doing the same clubs. And like you really don't care enough to hold that same energy when I see you, you know? So clear, that's why I don't trip. It's like, you're going through something, you got some stupid shit to get off.
Yeah.
All right. But, you know, because you said that, I can't help but remember it or recognize that energy moving forward.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
there's no better time than to work on yourself than right now.
Right now, man. This is. I think everybody will be at a. My hope is that everybody will be at a more evolved mental state after all this. You know what I mean? Being able to interact with one another.
Why are you laughing? We're giving people too much credit. You got no hope for mankind.
That's why I changed my verbiage and I said I hope as opposed to I think.
I wasn't gonna say that.
I hope.
You know, 10 years ago, Rell would have written everyone off as screwed.
Yeah, man. I'm like, man, fuck y'all. Yeah, but again, that's not me evolving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We always talk about lead by example. You know what I'm saying? So if we're not out here doing what we're preaching, then you know what I mean? We're like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all don't do that shit.
Yeah.
You know
I gotta give my brothers their flowers. We've, as a collective, we've grown so much from when we've known each other.
Of course, bro.
And that goes from
Fresh off the plane from New York, nigga, you couldn't tell. Oh, man.
there was a lot of things you couldn't tell Rell
Bro,
back then.
listen.
But
I got a quick Rell story
here we go.
that you couldn't tell Rell at the time. Like 2007 or 8, like our first year in DJing.
Yeah.
We're at not Sin City. What was
Forbidden
that?
City.
Forbidden City
Oh, Forbidden City.
Remember that shit?
in Hollywood. And we're standing over there. And
That's where
we're
I saw
like,
my first go-go
we
dancer.
just started really DJing.
I think I noticed.
We just started doing
about to say.
clubs. So this is new and exciting. Not for me. I mean, for watching you guys was fun, but it wasn't my gig. I was just, you know. So it was exciting for the crew, the Spin Addicts crew. Shout out to them. And it's like 10:30. Or no, it's like 11. People are coming in and they're really young, 21.
Yeah, because it was 18 and over spot, wasn't
The club was on its way out. It was the scrubs of the scrubs, but still, it was like people you went to house parties with. So there were some good looking girls there, but I was looking at this girl and I'm just like, oh my God, this
exactly
girl
what you're
is
gonna say.
gorgeous. And we're on the balcony looking down and I said, Rell, that girl right there is the baddest girl here. And he said, what are you talking about? My girl's the baddest girl here.
Hey, man,
I was
listen
like,
here.
all right, like what do you want me to do with that? You know, how can I further this conversation if you're just gonna shut the conversation down with that?
You just know that I ride for whoever I'm with. You know what I'm saying?
Rell's a rider for
moving
sure.
forward, like, all right, your girl's the baddest girl here, but moving forward, let's take her out of the equation so we can further this conversation
For the
and
sake
evolve
of this
it.
conversation.
I should have, but you know,
You said
I
outside
never
of
been
your
hit
girl,
with that.
You know what I mean?
Outside of really, I was like, all right, word. So moving
got-
on.
'cause-
Good DJ, huh?
You gotta look at it from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I had engaged.
was the right answer.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
a great
If I
answer.
had engaged in conversation with you,
Yeah.
like, yo, she is bad. Now, if she didn't overhear me, or if someone else will overhear, yo, your man,
Like
up
your
there,
girl ain't even here, bro. You ain't gotta talk like that. She
like,
ain't standing
hey,
behind you.
Be like, yo, man, your man over there looking at other girls, checking them out and shit. Now I gotta go home with that situation. See, you know what I mean? I keep my head on the swivel, baby. You
And
know what
at
I'm saying?
that same party, not the same night, but at that same party, there was like a hyphy battle going on, and someone dropped their phone. Guy we didn't know, Sean, this guy right here, jumps in there, takes the phone, and runs off. I'm like, why'd you take his phone? What are you doing?
I don't remember that, but goddamn,
Just like, I'm gonna resell this shit. I'm like, yo, that's someone's phone. What's wrong with you?
Now we're just reaching in the shelf. Fellas, I was just giving us flowers about maturing. Joe, stop.
No, we've all evolved. It's fine.
Stop.
If you got to be able to poke fun.
No, I'm trying to get you to stop before you get to me, my stories.
Oh, man.
No, you were safe at that club.
At that time.
At that time. Well, in that moment, you were safe.
In that moment.
There were a lot of moments you weren't safe. But
No, there's a lot of moments. There's
but
a lot of moments where all of us weren't safe.
No.
Man.
But with that being said, are there any, to circle back to the IG stuff,
Yeah.
is there any producers you'd want to see jump on this potential battle?
Oh, shit, man. Yes. K-Tronada, for sure.
With who?
That's what I was thinking about. Who can I see? And I was thinking about Sango or Masengo. Masego or Sango.
Masengo.
Yeah. Either those two against K-Tronada. Kenny Beats for sure. Kenny Beats. Cardo. Alchemist. Yo, we be here all day.
Somebody said Kanye versus Pharrell.
That's not fair. That's not fair. It's not. I think you get another Timbaland and Swiss Beats to me.
Okay.
Pharrell is Timbaland and Kanye is
Well,
Swiss.
if you don't look at it like a battle, then it's fine. But everyone wants to make everything a battle. Just say, I want to see
I mean, of
them go
course.
track for track.
because of the
see,
competitiveness is great. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a sport. You know what I mean? That's how we ain't got no sports. We got some type of competitiveness going on. So
I would actually, I don't know who, because this is off the dome, but I wouldn't mind seeing old producers, and even like, maybe it's because I just did this 80s mix for Double Down, but I wouldn't mind, obviously Prince can't, but I wouldn't mind hearing unreleased Prince stuff, or unreleased Queen, unreleased Morris Day, Jim, The Doors. Like, I wouldn't mind hearing those unreleased songs, because you got to know those unreleased songs were fire. At that time, they weren't putting out music as often as now, obviously. So the 80 tracks that they made to scale it down to 12 songs for the album, I want to hear those songs.
Do you think,
if there's, you know what I mean? If you can throw that in the equation.
do you think people, the masses, would appreciate something like that?
If music snobs, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And then they'll be like, how did this not make the album? Or how these unreleased 10 songs make a better album than anything that's out. You know, you'll get those conversations. But I wouldn't mind hearing, like, give me the Purple Rain unreleased tracks and everything leading up to Purple Rain unreleased by Prince. I want to hear what that sound, everything that Queen never released in that throughout that run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder who's got access to that vault.
Man,
Lord.
that'd be crazy.
Jesus.
My New York people, A-Rap Music versus Just Blaze.
Shit.
Be good. Look, you could come up with endless combos.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to make a dream list. You know,
Why don't on Instagram we make create battles?
Yeah.
And then have a poll type of thing.
Yeah.
We
Put
could
that
do
on stories and
let's make our own
Mike
March
Will
Madness
versus Metro.
March Madness.
Our own March Madness.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, March is about to be over, so we got to hurry the fuck up.
Well, you know, March Madness carries over into April. Into the first week of April.
It's postponed at the moment.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah, Post Malone. I wanted to, so obviously this has nothing to do with we're talking about producers, and this has nothing to do with the DJs really, but for those DJs that are interested in going live, check out DJcity, Mojack's, what's the video called? Tips and Tricks?
Tricks and Trips.
Yeah,
Tips and Tricks.
he gives a lot of
Tips.
great tips. Mojax gives a lot of great tips on what to do if you're thinking of going streaming live.
Streaming tips.
And
How to get the best quality.
I think a lot of guys are still like a little bashful, a little shy to go live because they're a little self-conscious, but do it. Like, don't worry about the numbers. We've talked about this a number of times. Don't worry about the numbers, engagement. Just do it, have fun, play what you want. I've seen guys attack other guys for playing club sets. Like, man, maybe this is their time to be heard, what they can do in a club. And you never know who's watching. So it could, now there's a better chance than ever, even if it's small, but there's a better chance than ever that someone may stumble across your live club set and be like, yo, you should consider booking this guy.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna go live?
Right now, I have no interest. I'm too busy with other interests.
Oh, I was gonna say, what you got going on? You got all the time in the day.
No,
you don't sleep 7 hours in a
He's
day.
producing
what
records,
else are you
bro.
doing with the rest of your time?
I'm too busy with my production and yeah, like we'll get into that later.
You gotta bless the crowd, man.
Yeah, I'm preparing. And another thing, yeah, because I'm gonna say I'm preparing for what should be ready when this is all said and done. But just to let our listeners know, things are happening very fast, right? Right now it's IG Live. It's gonna evolve. The way you do IG Live is gonna continue to evolve. So and it's happening like every 5 days, every week. I see new guys doing it, and they're doing something a little bit different, arguably a little better than the last guy that did IG Live. So get ahead of this and try, one thing tapping back to mixes on what mixes to put out. If you're not sure what kind of mix to put out, you don't want to just do a club mix, create a theme to your mix. Me doing an 80s mix is just easy because I can just call it 80s. But remember Power 106 back during the lunchtime hour, during the week? They used, before Reflex took over and after Ron, there would be this a new lunchtime hour where there was a theme to all the songs were connected to one theme.
Yeah.
So you had to listen the whole hour to figure out what the theme is.
Right.
So, Rell put out a 5 Boroughs mix like 10 years ago. Like, that's a dope theme for, for
that shit
New
took
York.
Me forever.
I put out a teenage mix 10 years ago, and that was all the songs I was jamming to when I was a teen. So for those of you not sure what to put out, put out a theme mix. And do an Instagram live in regards to the theme, and then record that, and then post it as my Instagram live, whatever teenage mix.
I mean, I feel like right now you cannot lose if you just put out content.
Yeah.
If it's live, if it's recorded, if it's whatever, I think, if you have some insecurities about your live or the background or whatever, like how you feel, what angle. Like, I think the most important thing is just start, and you can start by just recording, hitting record. One of the things that you can mess around with is just go into your regular recording situation and go for it. And I did have a couple DJs ask how I got such good quality on my recording. It's funny because you think like, okay, you should, like, we would know this, but not everybody knows. And so, I literally just recorded the set on Serato. Looking for your water. It's tucked in your side.
I'm always looking for my water.
Yeah. I knew where it was. It's like the little ball in the cup. Where is it? It's there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I just recorded to Serato, got the audio.
Yeah, and attached the audio to the video.
Put it to the video. iMovie.
Yeah, easy.
It gets a little tricky with the syncing of the stuff still. But
same thing with my routines.
Yeah.
Yeah, iMovie.
Simple.
Routines that I really want to make somewhat of a production out.
Yeah, sometimes people are like, how did you get such good quality? Like, yeah, my phone's great.
Yeah.
No.
My trap phone is awesome.
Got the 11.
So you're not going live, to answer Rell's question?
I don't think I can at the moment until this all weighs down on me.
I bet you if he comes up with a theme, he's in there.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
He's going to do it.
Well,
so let me ask you, are you not going to do it because of what you said?
No, I think because of the numbers.
What numbers? The
numbers between what I did for the recorded theme that I did, and my last mix had a theme to it. So
why not do it live and then record it and then post it in as a live mix?
Because I don't think it has the same quality.
If you record it in the Serato and then bounce it,
I can't do that live. Oh, you're saying? I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
record it on Serato.
Record it on Serato and then put it out live.
Because it's like, I don't know. I think I have a different approach to like mixes. Like you mentioned you made an 80s mix for Double Down. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Jason Weiss. Shout out to
Weiss.
Jason Weiss, who's a listener.
Oh, he got a mix
and
coming from
supporter.
the whole MikiDz
He
squad.
hit us all up to
Yep.
do something. And
Jason, mine's on the way. I just finished it.
I did my first run at basically an extension of the mix I had made for this young lady a couple months ago.
Oh shit!
Yo,
But made it an actual mix.
shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out for the inspiration.
She inspired this
She's
man.
long gone. And
Damn,
But-
that's fucked
Even
up.
when women are trash, they inspire, man.
Huh?
I said, even when women are trash, they inspire.
Oh, I think that's the best time, and we'll get
Yeah.
into that.
Everything is a
Because
lesson.
of the Weeknd album.
Oh God, Jesus fucking Christ! We cannot spend that
But
much time
shout
on
out to
that.
all the women in the world.
Yes.
Or I should
Empowering.
say significant others.
for
who
good or
inspire
for
me.
worse,
Yeah.
empowering. We appreciate you.
But I think I don't see myself going live. I like the approach I have with certain stuff. I think I'm gonna try and stick to the mini mix themes. Shout out to Kermit. That was a last minute album artwork that I was able to finesse.
Kermit.
But I think I'm gonna stick to the under 5 minutes
Yeah,
video clips and try to get a little more technical with the empty spaces. But I think you got to just put out content.
Yeah.
That's the way to win. And you were saying also being creative with your mixes if you're going to put out multiple stuff. I got to definitely give a shout out to Eric Deluxe, who's been putting out some like essentially just says what he wants to hear.
Yeah.
He's 3 episodes in, and it's been
how long in the mixes?
dope. I want to say about an hour each.
Okay.
First one was just some of his shit that he liked, which was like, if I could put a couple highlights, would be Common's Delight, Red
Okay.
Cafe, Fly Together with Ryan Leslie,
Woo!
Ryan Leslie,
They don't know about that.
Diamond Girl, and what was some of the, just some like dope that era.
Yeah.
And then second one was more like 90s R&B for the ladies. And then the third one was like classic house. So
Dope.
all has been enjoyable. And
they're all themes.
Huh?
And they're all themes. So
Then they're all themed.
that'll inspire you. That'll,
Yeah.
you know, what's crazy? Not to cut you off, but in the past, a number of times, the thought of putting 2 tracks together will inspire a whole mix.
100%.
Yeah.
That doing that little mini mix at 5 minutes, people are like, upload that to SoundCloud. I'm like, for what? It's,
Yeah.
It's 4 minutes long, 5 minutes long. Like, what you doing?
it's a song. It's one song. Well, one song in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-3 songs today.
Yeah.
One Kanye song.
Exactly.
With
Just shorter than one Kanye song.
Wait, I was recording some mix. I think it was for our globalization. I think I burned through like 5 tracks, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. I got to be at 6-7 minutes. Bro, I was under 3 minutes. I was like, fuck. I was like, shit. All
That's
right.
how I felt going through this first run last night. I just did like one run, pick random songs that I
Yeah.
felt like would go together. And then you make the run and you're just like, man, I've gone through like 40 songs, 27 minutes.
Yeah.
What?
People were like, shit.
I feel terrible. But to go back on the content suggestions, Bella Fiasco, Tainted Love. Put out
I didn't get a chance to
recent
listen to that yet.
She killed it, did her thing. Sour Milk, some of my favorite things. Great mix. And the last one that I wanted to show love to was, can't believe it just blanked out. But Jay Espinosa also did one. His Russia set for the 3 style was sick as fuck.
I got just one more thing to say, then I think we should move on. But 4 Color Zach's been quiet.
Oh, that's scary. He's
up
been
to
hilarious. He's been
something.
making like memes though.
Well, I'm saying in regards to because now's the time to put out some great ideas, and he does that just on a regular.
Yeah.
He throws out random ideas, and it gets great engagement.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping an eye on him because I think he's up to something.
Night Train.
Nitrate.
Good job. Second reggaeton.
Which one? Oh,
The Perrealo, whatever. Gotta give my man his flowers. But yes, you're right.
Yeah.
There's something cooking.
Some cooking. He's been quiet. He hasn't been.
He put out an edits pack.
Oh, right.
And I
Oh,
think
and
it-
Spider Tech too. We got to give him.
Oh yeah, Spider Tech.
Yo, the
Oh, I
shit
did
he's
it.
been making, like that Queen flip. Oh,
I did
my God.
I put out a video with one of Spider Tech's tracks that he sent over to me.
Oh, yeah.
It was an Afrobeat track. I forgot the
Mhm.
name of it with the Major Lazer joint. It was dope though. Yeah, the pack was dope. The packs are dope. He's putting out.
Make sure while we're all saying this, also please make sure to go check out on our Mixcloud all of our globalization mixes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Big shout out to DJ Crespo.
Yep.
Crespo the DJ.
Yes, sir.
Crespo, the DJ.
DJ Dainjazone was on
DJ
there.
Dainjazone was also on there. Did a great mix. Lots of
Yeah.
global vibes.
Yeah. I
liked how it turned, and then when you went old school at the end, it had a great
felt uniform. Felt
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
and he kicked it off with his most recent remix.
The drop.
Yeah,
The
I
drop.
did a remix to the Timberland drop for those of you who haven't listened to the last
Another
gospel.
Fat Man Scoop remix.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah, I did a lame remix to a
Lame.
Fat Man Scoop track drop, and that's on DJcity now. So please go check that out. Everyone's playing music live, so play it live, record it, whatever. Shoot it to me. I'll repost. Appreciate the support. Yeah. So
Great job on the remix, by the way.
thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
You couldn't give yourself the flowers.
Oh,
Here they are.
Hold on.
Fuck that, man. The biggest cheerleader, you gotta be yourself.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was just trying to keep it moving. No, so
Come on, Joe's never jerked
We
himself
got
off
nothing.
ever.
We got nothing but time, baby. What you
we do
talking
got
about?
shit. We're an hour 4 in. We're only halfway through our to talk about this.
We got topics,
So
baby.
this has been on my mind for the last week, and I hit up about 4 bookers about what's
Wait,
going
are
to
you
happen.
moving on? Because I had one last question for
Go
you.
ahead.
And we spoke about this the other day, and you told me to
Yeah.
bring it up. Why DangerZone remix, not Danger?
Oh yeah. So back in 2014, when I would meet with Mr. White, shout out to him. He was helping me out.
It's not a racist term. He's
No.
Latino, I think.
Yeah. Shout out to him. He was helping me out with my branding. And when I created Danger, and it was supposed to be like, the inspiration behind it was festivals and doing, like I was fresh out of doing a number of festivals with Foo. I saw what that world was like. I knew how I wanted to attack it. So I was going to put out trap music and stuff like that. And then then I put out remixes on DJcity, and that evolved into hip hop beats. And then at some point, Danger was supposed to get rid of DangerZone. I was gonna wipe DangerZone off the face of the earth and just focus on Danger.
You were going to beat source it to DJcity.
Yeah, I was just gonna focus on that, and because Danger's like, I mean, I don't care to get into all that, but yeah, Danger was supposed to wipe out DangerZone, and then after I get done with my second win and run with Foo, I had to focus on DangerZone because DangerZone was bringing in the money, and I had to get that brand together. And for our faithful listeners, you all know it took me a while to get that brand right. And once I got that brand right, which was just about a year ago to this day, I got it right, and then it was polished, it was clean, it looked, everything about it felt and looked great. So then Sack Noel and I would meet every now and then to just discuss the culture and branding and just everything, just really cool and growing conversations. And at the top of January, I said, I got this, I got some ideas, and I want to get your thoughts on them. So we were talking about branding in DangerZone, and I said, I was having a hard time wrapping my head around what I want to do with DangerZone. And I said, I want to put out up-tempo music because that's where DangerZone is. It's top 40. It's the Grand. It's Tao. It's Dare. It's all those clubs. So I want to put out what works best for the brand. And I couldn't really say that I wrapped my head around it, even though it was right there. And then Sack kind of like pushed me into it, like, bro, you need to just do that stuff and figure out what the 3 strengths of your brand are. And whatever music you put out, make sure the music not only matches the brand, but make sure the music matches the clubs you do.
Right.
So then it hit me like, oh shit, all the reasons why I started Danger aren't even relevant anymore. Like I can still do some hip hop shit with Danger and produce that because I'm sure I'll want to get back into that bag. But right now, everything is up-tempo focus. I'm rewatching videos on making EDM drops and build-ups. And shout out to Taylor Jamin. He helped me really clean up the Fat Man Scoop drop remix. And I was doing a lot of Splice. Like on Splice, you can share your project, and I can see all the changes he's making. So he showed me everything that he was doing to make it sound better.
Sick.
So yeah, I'm in that world now, and that's what my brand is aligned with. So yeah, that's why we're going with DangerZone from here on out and not Danger.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So moving on. Okay, so we all know when this is said and done, everything's back to normal.
Yep.
D-Nice is going to get a nice bag. Okay.
I heard
Is
he was already getting a good bag.
Right,
He was very selective.
Right.
But there probably will be opportunities for him outside of the normal DJ gig.
If there's anyone coming out the gates,
Yeah.
you know, swinging, like, it's going to be him. So again, talking to a bunch of bookers, and I asked, where are we going to be? You know, and it depends whether if you're 2 months out, we may be at a different point than 6 months out.
Yeah.
Because when these clubs open,
Yeah.
this is going to be one of the most rarest. There may not be anything like this again,
Right.
assuming everyone does, you know, assuming the world's in order. All the clubs are opening on the same day,
Yeah.
at least in each state. You know, Philly may open a little earlier than LA or whatever, or California.
I heard Nevada's ahead of a lot of people.
So all these clubs are going to open at the same time. Okay. Now, out the gates, the bookers and I that I've spoken to, who are all, not just bookers, they're friends as well. I don't want to just limit them to that. But the guys that I've spoken to, we agree out the gates, DJs will be able to get what they want for a really good rate. But
Sure.
after that opening weekend or so, because everyone's going to want to come out and party, whatever money they have, they're going to throw in there, you know. And you can say some bottle poppers weren't affected by this, some were. It's such a small percentage already, so some may not be affected. Regardless, everyone's going to want to party.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen after the first couple weekends of being open? And because I don't think the clubs will be able to pay. And this is where guys like us and all you guys are 500 to, all you guys that are like 500 to 1,000, I think you'll be able to get a better rate. And guys from 1,000 to 5,000 will be fine. But all the guys from 5K to 20K, especially the guys that don't have any music out, I think it's going to hit them the hardest. I think it's going to hit them like a ton of bricks. They're going to have to humble their rates. They're going to have to come down to our world, because what I think is going to happen, if you're charging $10,000, and I know this for a fact, there's a guy getting, let's throw $10,000 out there. And I'm saying 10 because I don't know exactly what his game, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. He is getting about, when he is being booked by a specific club, that club will sell 24 tickets, roughly 24 tickets every time he spins, which is not very different than what you would get booking me or booking you or you. You know, let's say people buy 5 tickets because DangerZone, Miki, and Rell are there, right? So the clubs are going to say, why are we paying this guy $15,000, $10,000 when we can pay these other guys less at a respectable rate? They're both going to bring in the same amount of people. You know what I mean? Now, I'm just talking general admission. When it comes to bottle sales, could be a different argument, but a lot of clubs focus on GA. So I think the guys in the tier of 5 to 20K, they're going to have to humble themselves for a very long time, or else they're going to sink.
First point, thanks for going rogue and bringing up a topic that you didn't give us heads up on.
I didn't put that in the notes?
No.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Thanks. Number 2, I agree with you to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think clubs and hopefully people don't come at me too hard with this one, but because everybody's gonna want to party, it won't matter who they have DJing.
Yeah, it's fair.
And so, and I think that hits everybody at every level. And unless you're a person that put out content that got a reaction greater than what we thought as a public your value was, that could be a way for your rate to climb up a little, because I would definitely agree that what D-Nice did in showing value of the DJ and people appreciating the DJ, because there's a difference between a DJ and a playlist. I think is the benefit. And I'm going to agree with you that there's a lot of people who were getting the 10K, 15K that might have gone live, and hence kind of my position is you didn't pump the numbers on live that you have on your followership.
Yeah.
And that reflects in GA. There's a ton of influencers that I've worked with in many different facets of life, and they've had triple the following of someone and sold a quarter of a product.
Yeah.
Not every influencer can sell a product. People can sell image, people can sell this look, but when engagement to conversion are two different things. And I think that follows in the nightlife world.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think, and I say this out of respect, not everybody in nightlife has caught on to what engagement means in social media. There's a ton of people that I see getting booked with hundreds of thousands of followers or 1 million followers, but their likes are 300 likes.
Yeah, and I've talked about this before in the past where I've talked to a booker and this guy has told me...
Booker or a friend?
No, booker, not a friend. Business, strictly business.
Strictly
But I
business.
talked to this guy...
Strictly business.
NPMD.
You know, no EPMD. I talked to this guy and he said,
Oh, I know the story.
you got to get your account. I've told this story on the pod.
Yeah.
And you got to get your followers up. And I'm not trying to have this conversation with him, but in my head, I'm thinking, so no matter how many people, no matter who is following me, all you care is to see my numbers, my follower rate sky high. You don't care if these are 10-year-olds following me or 60-year-olds. You just want to see, because in their defense, they're like, yeah, we don't care because I just need something to sell my boss, or I need something to sell my buyers. So it's like, oh.
So you think
okay.
you think through all this, those cats that were getting paid the $10,000 to $15,000 during this time, that their value is decreasing?
Yeah.
Or the fact that everyone else's value is increasing?
I think more. Well, there are very, there's a very small percentage of guys getting 5 to 20K.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That aren't producing, that don't have that.
Yeah.
And they're not listening
And
to our
some
podcast.
of these guys are what?
I said they're not listening to our podcast, so fuck them.
No. And some of these guys are producing and still.
I mean, it's hard to say. You can give your opinion, but you're saying you talked to a booker already, so that seems like that might be the mindset of bookers already. You know what I mean? Before this is even over.
Yeah, but I think we all have time to sit on our fucking hands right now. It's some people.
Yeah, and like overthink
They
shit.
might figure some shit out.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Because at the end of the day, and this is something Joe's kind of pointed at me sometimes, making fun of me about this, but like, yeah, I spend a lot of time looking at conversion and engagement because naturally I have to take the same approach into my brand as a DJ. I don't look at my Instagram as Michael Guerra's personal front-facing image to the world. I look at it as MikiWAR, the brand.
Yeah.
Part of the MikiDz Show, part of Mag Park. And I have to treat it in that manner if I ever feel that I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to get compensated for its value. That's why I invest so much time. It's not a ego thing. It's not a what's the word I'm looking for? The people that have egos and...
Egotistic?
What's the other
arrogant?
word? No, we're getting there.
We're getting there. Swimmy, slappy.
Samson. Anyway, the whole point is it's not about feeding my ego. It's about building on what I've started. And one of the things that I've had to work through is people that one of the main reasons, I was going to say the only reason, but one of the main reasons that my followership even grew to where it was at 1,30,000 followers was because of my store and because of the people I was associated with in that world. Hence why when I put out DJ stuff, it doesn't engage as well or as high because it turns people away. Now I've gotten down to a like 25 and it's only decreasing because I'm getting rid of more and more young boys are my followers.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy.
It's not creepy.
but it's real.
Sometimes you make it real easy, Miki.
I mean, are we here?
It's so easy. I'm just ready to move on. Like, enough said.
Are we here to entertain the people or not?
Well, let me say this though, and
Wait, hold on. Don't let me stop there.
go on.
Don't let
recover.
Don't let that statement end there.
I was gonna evolve that, but go ahead.
Let him
Hey,
recover.
thanks, bro.
I was gonna evolve that, but go
But
ahead.
look, at the end of the day, kids that want to buy shoes and follow Mag Park are teenagers to early 20s consumers of those products.
Yeah.
Right? So hence, if I'm putting out shit for like music and things that they have no idea that I do outside of this,
Yeah.
they could give a fuck less what I'm doing
Yeah.
or what I'm putting out there, right? They could care less what we're talking about on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I've had to refine my demographic and kind of reintroduce myself slowly while doing that. And so I pay attention to those numbers. And I'm proud of the return I get on the content I put out. I take pride in that.
Yeah.
Not for the ego, for the sake of the brand growing. And it's, same things happen with Mag. Like before, we would just put a product up and that was enough. But that's not enough. You got to put up a meme. You got to put something that engages conversation. You got to put all the different things that we've brought up.
It's the evolution of engagement.
Yeah, 100%. Because we have to fight against this algorithm that's built against us.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to DJs and like shit, I mean, I'll say it straight up. Like I take pride in the engagement I get and the conversion I get, even when I'm posting up like flyers. I try to trick the system into engaging into a conversation while promoting an event. And I know where I stand with my engagement. I know I have one of the higher conversions, but that doesn't mean much if the venue or the people don't understand it.
Yeah, and I've said this before. It's us versus Instagram. So anybody trying to figure it out on just doing up random stuff to get engagement, like, and you're seeing what works. So I'm cool with that. My only issue with your past posts is when you do it at other people's expense. Like I'll give you an example. Like one of your employees showed up late and you were all in his face with the live, with the story.
Stories.
Yeah. And I was like, now granted, I mean, he didn't look comfortable, but maybe he was, or I don't know what went on before and after that video was shot. But on mine, it just looked a little cringeworthy. And then I've seen other posts from you where you're at other people's expense where you're putting them on your story. And that's why I'm just like, that's the only issue I have with just anybody. Like, because then some, not just you, but speaking in general now, some people don't want to be on your story and you're throwing them on there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And you're probably doing stuff to make them look bad and make you look, superior or better or cool or whatever. Because, it's like the shit we flex on Twitter. We say shit to make ourselves look like, yeah, I'm the one, I'm the man, and without saying it. And that's kind of what it is when people do that on live, when they're throwing other people under the bus. Or
I get it. I mean, it's all.
I understand.
It's all said. It's all said. Like again, if those numbers that you mentioned earlier are correct, you know what I'm saying. You're saying the DJ that is getting paid $10,000, $15,000 is only selling 24 tickets, and then someone like ourselves, making whatever is going to be selling, I don't know, whatever, 5 to 10. If those numbers are true and those numbers are accurate, then I absolutely see those type of DJs that are going to take a huge hit. But if those numbers are not true, the only way that I can see those type of DJs taking that much of a hit is if there's a decrease in their value or a significant increase in every other DJ's value. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I would see them taking a hit. I personally don't see it. I think at first, when this is all over and clubs are opening, it's an even playing field for everyone. Like everyone, like you said, everyone's going to be able to jack up their price, get great value, or whatever. But then a couple of weeks, a couple of months afterwards, the playing field's not going to be even anymore. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying it's so important now more than ever for those bedroom guys or the guys that are incredibly talented but aren't getting maybe in their mind they feel like they haven't gotten a fair shot or whatever. This is your time to get your foot in the door, because I'm talking to these bookers, and if you create some sort of noise during this live stream stuff, you're going to get a shot. There's a good chance you're going to get a shot. But again, it's on you if you can't stay in that club to keep those bookings,
reciprocate those bookings.
Yeah. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
And we'll see if people catch on to what it is, because, I mean, it's known. You could pay $2,000-$3,000 to get your blue check mark, but it's about doing it right versus, faking the funk.
You guys think that the numbers that you receive, or the numbers that the views that DJs are receiving on IG Live is the new followers? You get what I'm saying? The new follower count?
I think it's
hard to keep up with that.
It matches. I mean, it matches to what you expect. Again, because I study this shit, like, it is what it is. Like, what D-Nice did was very uncommon. What Angie V is doing is very uncommon.
Yeah.
The conversion is different. But
now that those people have set that standard, are we judging everybody else to that same standard?
I'm not. I don't think.
Let me rephrase that. I don't want to say us as DJs because obviously we're in the thick of it as well.
Yeah.
We are these people who are trying to get those numbers or whatever. Let's say bookers or whoever. You think they're making that the standard? Am I going to judge your average bedroom DJ who goes on IG Live, right, and averages anywhere between 20 to 50 viewers, to someone like a D-Nice who just went over 100K? You know what I'm saying? And I'm being like, okay, and then I'm going to be looking for the person in the middle.
I don't think they'll be judged.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think the ones that are exceeding are getting celebrated more than, and then we just know everybody else. This is the norm.
Okay.
Versus getting like downgrade. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I didn't have anything else to say. I just don't think they're going to be judged based on that, because this is a unique situation. If anything, to your point, we're going to celebrate those that are killing it, and some of those guys are going to be rewarded. And it's crazy. Maybe the booker, you can be pessimistic and say, the bookers aren't tuned into my shit. Yeah, but there are guys that have an influence on bookings, or the bookers hang out with like regular DJs like you and I, and they're like, I have bookers asking me like, yo, like, who's got your eye? Oh, well, this guy, so yeah, there may be that guy that makes the connection. You didn't even know he made the connection.
Yeah.
But because you just put your head down and worked your ass off, you got an opportunity.
Now, so we talked about, you said, you made a comment earlier about when this is all over, that D-Nice is going to get his back.
Yeah.
Right? But you also made a comment about the skillful DJ, right, who can go over there and get down. Can that translate, and can they keep a dance floor?
Yeah.
Right? That's going to play a huge factor. Can someone like a D-Nice keep a dance floor?
Yeah.
Well, I think when you're booking someone like a D-Nice, you're not booking him to keep a dance floor, because it depends on the situation. Like, I don't know if your average top 40 club is going to book him and expect him to keep a dance floor. You know what I'm saying? Because to keep a dance floor, you have to play music that people are really, really into. And they may go over some people's heads. I'm sure he'll throw down a great set. We heard on the Joe Budden podcast that Joe Budden saw him in a club, and he said he was playing music that he shouldn't have been playing for that crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it worked. Not every crowd or club will be that generous.
Yeah.
So the bookers may give it a shot and say, well, it was cool. That was fun. Now let's go back to booking our regular guys.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I think he put himself, I guess he already kind of had this title, the celebrity DJ.
Yeah.
But he solidified that now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's a celebrity DJ. Like, we're booking him now just for his stardom.
Right.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, like, not saying that he's not skillful.
Yeah.
Before anyone be like, oh, Rell was like, D-Nice is trash. But,
no, talk more about that. What were you saying earlier about it?
Like, hey, listen, I'm not going to throw shade on nobody. You know what I mean? But again, it comes down to, like I was saying, there's cats that are more skillful than others. And some people just get the light because of the value of their branding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you said, the three things that weigh more, that people pay attention to: relationships, branding, and skills. Skills is the least amount of things. But this time that we're experiencing will the skills will be raised, and maybe be as, I don't think it it will weigh more than branding, but it'll probably be at an equal level. Like we'll look at skills just as much as we will branding.
What DJs I think need to focus on is not getting the skill part a tier above everything else or 2 tiers above everything else, but how to make the skills part work with the branding. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to go live every other day, let's call it every other day, you need to create some sort of noise about why it's so important that you're going live on these days. And you need to draw people to that and make that the place to be for that hour. You got to make all the levels, all the tiers work together. So it's not just about going live and calling it a day. Make a fuss about it. Make a commotion.
Yeah.
You know, DJs are putting out flyers about going live, which is cool. You're getting the word out, but there is a better way of doing it, right? You know, because flyers generally don't do very well in regards to engagement. But you got to figure out a way, get back into your creative bag and figure out a way to if I'm a booker, why do I care about you going live compared to Vice or Scene or all these other guys or whoever? Like, what makes it so important for you? And that may take 2-3 months. I mean, hopefully we're not in this for 2-3 months, but that may take 2 months or a month to get it right, and why it's so important to come check you out live. And again, that's where how this IG Live thing is going to continue to evolve.
Yeah.
You know, guys have a mic now. You know, Mojack's mentioned it, have a mic. You don't want to compete with your friends, so go an hour earlier before your friends. Tell everyone to go check out your friend, supporting each other.
Yeah.
You know, like when go-go dancers used to host, all the other go-go dancers to go support.
Yeah.
They don't care to be there, but they're there to support. Be like go-go dancers and support each other. You know
Exactly.
this guy knows what I'm talking about.
You know exactly what he's talking about.
I think that's where Dre Sinatra wins with the themes and what he was doing with Tupac Tuesdays and Wu-Tang Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I mean, he even had one of was Raekwon, I think, checked in.
He did.
Yeah, Raekwon did check in, yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
fuck that. Take a screenshot of who's checked in. Raekwon's in your shit. Let everybody know Raekwon was in that shit.
Absolutely. And flyers, I think, we know it doesn't perform well unless you do some trickery shit that I'll try sometimes on timeline. But on stories, if it looks like a proper thing, like people are going to check it out. It looks like something worth checking out versus, and if you set that standard of a theme or something to expect, then I think gives people more the urge to want to check that out.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I saw, I don't know, I don't want to give a bad example, but if I saw someone who I thought was a skilled DJ and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do all 2000s, whatever, then at least I know, oh shit, like I should really make a point to check this out.
Don't want to miss this.
Yeah, and I don't want to miss this. But it's just good to build some anticipation of some sort.
Yeah.
And in a time. Don't just pop up on live. I think that's going to hurt your numbers.
Yeah, and that I think speaks to Mike's point about not doing live. Like I would say make an announcement, like Scene said, I'm going live in 15 minutes or an hour, something like that.
Yeah.
So it gave people a chance to get ready for it.
You know, I would say, and I don't know how we can go about this, but it might be cool for us, maybe the next time we record, and if we are in this situation, or even after, to just go on live and answer questions. Yeah. Like I had a weird.
Well, we got a fourth person here now. So.
Right. I mean, no, he can record. I'm not saying that part. I'm saying like.
No, he can watch the live. And tell us, like he can be on someone's page, watch the live and answer and tell us what the questions are.
But we would need to go live.
From the MikiDz page.
Sure. Or I was going to say, no, in my head, I first thought one of us goes live on the MikiDz one and then another one joins if we're going to be at our homes. But we could just do it here collectively.
Yeah, I'm actually, And
because we're practicing social distancing.
Not to push your idea to the side, because we should jump back in there. But
Me and Rell are 6 feet away.
But I think what we should do here, and hopefully this sparks inspiration. We're not just having a meeting of the minds right now. But what we should do here is get people to our MikiDz page, because we definitely need to beef that up, and have Sean go live from the MikiDz page while we're doing our pod.
Oh, and
like
he reads the questions.
And even if there aren't questions, he can still control it. And if he wants to jump in and say, yo, there's a question asked, do it for 10 minutes. Group chat used to do that, right? Yeah. They would go live for like 10 minutes.
The first 10 minutes of their
there it is.
podcast.
Yeah. Next show, we doing that.
Yeah,
Boom.
I think we should jump on there. And I only say that because
Boom.
Just Incredible last night had a bunch of people jump on live that were like rappers, and they were throwing their bars and whatever. And then shout out to Tony Handsome, who instigated to talk to me for whatever reason. And I'm like, people are gonna be pissed that I'm not a rapper, but I accepted the request, and we had a quick
Oh shit, they got DJ Khaled on there.
conversation. Yeah, right. The beard. Yo, Khaled's looking rough without his barber.
Listen, man,
man-
When was the last time y'all got a haircut? I want to ask. When was the last time y'all got a haircut?
Shit, 2 weeks, bro.
It's been a month. Last time I got a haircut was
Yeah.
Boston.
A month.
We're about
Been a
to
month.
see
Where's your
Joe's.
facial hair at?
We're about to see. Oh my god!
Damn, my nigga. Shit.
For what?
You looking like Clive, bro.
For what?
Yeah, you really do look like your father.
Oh, the great
We
hair.
about to see.
Oh,
we about to
man.
see Joe's hat collection like
Yo,
no
man,
other.
I'm struggling. Hey, fellas.
I rotate like 4 hats.
Listen, you know what? And that's another thing my fiance and I were talking about is that this is a real test for couples because women can't go get their hair done and their manicures and pedicures done.
Yeah.
Right? And fellas can't go get their haircuts and stuff. So in 2 weeks, go by and your nails are starting to chip and girls' ends are starting to split and fellas' beards is growing out.
What
and
about the
looking all
girls that got to
nasty?
get ass shots and all that? Like, or don't they have to like keep that shit updated?
Listen, I
Or
don't know
the
nothing
lip
about that.
injections?
I don't know
There's
nothing
no,
about
like,
that.
No firmware update
don't know
or
nothing
hard
about that.
reset. Or,
I don't know nothing about that. I'm on that. I got all natural. So I don't know.
You gotta download the updates.
Yeah.
yeah, like what if your update is
listen.
locked out because of the
I feel for them. I feel for them.
was
But
only-
I mean, if that's the case, but technically it's a medical, so it's essential. So they can go and get that
Nah,
taken
nail
care of,
salon,
right?
nail salons are closed.
Not nail salons. I'm saying the ass shots and stuff like that.
Oh,
Look,
like,
man,
nah, I know some surgical people.
I'm thankful my
It's not
girlfriend is a beautiful woman, and without makeup, she looks incredible to me.
Yep, same here.
And I know you feel the same way about
Yep.
your girlfriend.
I feel great
I
about
know you
myself.
feel the same way about your girlfriend. So we are all
Fiance,
very
brother. Fiance.
my
Fiance.
fiance. Sorry,
We're not
sorry.
in your same boat.
Right. I got to get to your level. So yeah, I think we're all thankful that we have beautiful women.
Yeah,
Maybe
It's
they
so
don't
great.
have
Why she
these
got a ring
issues.
on her finger?
Damn, Mickey's
Lil Dicky's
doing
new
that.
show. Y'all see Lil Dicky's new show? Dave?
This is a great time to talk about Lil Dicky's new show.
Right? Where he lives with his girlfriend.
Huh? Yeah. Broke rapper, loses
Broke
his
rapper
girlfriend.
living with his girlfriend. Yeah, that show's amazing.
Yo,
man.
for real, if you haven't gone to see on FXX, Dave, the show Dave, by Lil Dicky,
Or just go to
the
Hulu.
rapper. We have it on Hulu.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you could stream it on there. And I heard it's on Spectrum on demand. Just for everybody to have the resources. But man, what a great show.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people are saying like, yo, is this real shit? Like, is he really going through this? So Zach Seedman, shout out to him, grew up in the same area as Lil Dicky and was Lil Dicky's camp counselor.
Nice.
So he's known him for a very long time. I said after
Lil
the
Dicky
first
was Lil?
episode, after the first episode, I hit up Zach. I was like, bro, please, I'm gonna spoil it. Please tell me whatever happened at the beginning of the episode. Please tell me it wasn't true. He's like, no, that is 100% true. And that's how he got his rap name. So, and I was like, all right, well, what about in episode 2 when he has to write that rap? He's like, yeah, he said, I think that's true. He's like, everything you've seen is pretty much true. Like, this is his life, the shit that he's gone through.
This shit is hilarious, bro.
Bro, it's a great show. It's
Oh
amazing.
man,
You guys haven't watched? Have you watched the newest episode?
Yeah.
Okay. But
I haven't.
You haven't.
No,
No
no.
spoilers, but like they get into some real topics of the world and things that are going on.
dope.
So it's great to see the relation between somewhat of a message while sneaking in these crazy jokes.
I tell you what, I caught on to their formula. And I told this to Zach, I said, and I'm sure all this happened, but what makes each moment, each situation so funny is it's a situation you would tell a friend, hey, wouldn't it be funny if this happened with Young Thug? Or wouldn't it be funny if this happened with the kid that died? Like, you don't think this is going to happen, but what if I had to do this with the dead kid? You know what I mean? You don't expect that shit to happen, or you don't expect that situation with Young Thug to happen.
Yeah, but like think of the imagination it takes for that shit to actually happen.
Yeah.
Or for you to even
That's what I'm
think.
saying.
Like,
That-
yeah, you can't
of
make
that
that shit
scenario.
up.
Every
Yeah.
time a situation comes, like, oh, genius. Like, that's hilarious. The writing is incredible.
You've been in this world 36 years in your life. When have you ever thought of that scenario actually
No,
happening?
never.
It's crazy.
Any of them.
Right. A lot. Yeah.
Any of them, like any of them.
Man.
Any of them. I'm not. I don't want to
I
spoil
don't wanna
anything.
say.
but-
I was about to say
I don't
something.
want to
I won't
spoil nothing
anything,
because it's
but
so good.
The
Yeah.
garage scene, my nigga. Oh my god. Yo. Oh
Yo,
Lord.
and
Yo.
the shit they say to each other when they're having sex
Oh, my
was so
God.
uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable.
Shout out to Drake for real.
Oh man. I saw that.
What an inspiration.
I saw that Kevin Hart is the executive producer on the show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw that. That's crazy. But
It's great.
man, great show. Go check it out if you guys haven't seen it yet. But yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely content recommendation.
absolutely.
And the Weeknd's album, speaking of content,
Yeah. We might as well skip
Underwhelming?
that. We might as well skip that topic.
Party Next Door was coming out tomorrow, which will already be
Tonight.
on this
Tonight,
air.
So it'd been-
technically.
So it came out a
Look,
couple
man.
days ago.
This is what I think of the Weeknd's album. Then we can move on. I think the Weeknd is so incredibly talented and has, to Rory's point on the JBP, has all the money to back it.
Yep. Sounds like an expensive album.
Right. But I will say, I enjoyed the album. I haven't gotten I just started giving it a second listen, but I enjoy maybe because there's like 80s moments in there. And I also enjoy the rollout. That probably helps as well. Every music video is attached to the other. And this latest one, Into Your Eyes.
Every song feels like it's attached to each other too.
Yeah, because very similar production. But all the videos are dope. Like the story of it is incredible to me. But I think the Weeknd can put out a better body of work because he is capable of.
Right.
I still think this album is better than a lot of shit that has come out.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
But
like
is that
it's
because
like
he-
Jordan.
It's the
like how much better
expectation.
can you make Jordan? You know what I mean? Like how much better does Kobe
We're
need to get?
comparing the Weeknd
Well,
to
hold
Michael
on, before you,
Jordan.
don't bring Kobe into this. On Jordan, he could have been 2 more championships richer.
Yeah, but that's a whole other
Are you-
story. Why?
Are you saying? But
I'm just talking about greatness. Throw anybody
say-
in there. The Weeknd, when it's all said, and he will be considered one of the greats of our time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that away from him.
He's in a world of himself, of his own, battling himself to get better and better.
You said that a lot of his stuff, his album now is better than a lot of stuff that's out today. Do you think that's because he has a higher budget than most of the people that are putting out or music?
No, because I think now I'll take it back to his first album.
Which
That was the best album. Mixtape, whatever you want to call
House
it.
of Balloons.
House of Balloons.
He can never do anything better than
Okay,
that.
there will never be anything better than that, right? And that changed music. It did a lot of good for music. I still think he's got different topics now. It's not so
Yeah,
drug
obviously, he
heavy,
evolved.
but he's
Yeah.
still fucking a little crazy in the head,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
He's still putting out twisted shit. I will say, and what was your question again? I need to go back to
You
it.
need to give Sean a mic.
Because you said his album today is better than a lot of the stuff out today,
Yeah.
and I asked if that's because he has a higher budget than most of these.
Okay,
cats out
so the budget. He didn't have very much of a budget back then. Although I did hear, there was a rumor saying that his investors knew he was incredibly talented and they were just throwing money at him.
there. Yeah,
But still, you can tell the quality of House of Balloons
Yeah,
and this
of
is different. So no, I think even without the big budget, he still has some cool shit to say. Like lyrically, I'm vibing with him. I'm into his crazy shit, having sex in the studio. Like I'm with everything he's talking about. Now, if you want to talk about like choice of beats or how it was produced, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's where the money comes in.
Yeah.
But his content and what he's saying is just as twisted, not just as twisted, but it's
enhanced.
twisted. It's a little bit more polished
Yeah.
because he's on the radio now and he's on
Yeah.
a big label.
Gotcha.
It's just a little bit more polished than House of Balloons.
Yeah.
He was probably high off his mind when he was fucking doing House of Balloons.
Yeah, you
I
can't remember what you call it.
remember being at a hot pot spot in Santa Ana, eating these like you done hot pot?
No.
Anyway, it's like it's like boiling broth, and you dip the noodles and you dip the like raw meat into it, and it cooks in there.
Yeah.
It's of some Asian descent, I think Japanese.
Mhm.
And the owner comes over, and he's only playing The Weeknd in this little like spot right inside of this bigger like food court essentially. He goes, bitches love The Weeknd.
Yeah, they do.
He goes, you can't go wrong. He's literally talking about sex, drugs, and it's fucking pop.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I agree with you with the content. I can appreciate it being this like long story more than like a body of work that takes different roads. And you know, I was thinking about this the other day. Roddy Ricch's album really gives me this weird feeling that I haven't felt in a long time when it comes to an album, where it's just like I could just listen to this and have it take me through the twists and turns and have no problem not skipping anything.
Yeah.
And not a ton of albums that feel that way. And I would even compare, hot take maybe, but I feel like similar ways, Travis Scott's album wasn't as good. This last one wasn't that great as it actually feels, because the hold on.
Sean over here going.
Before Sean jumps into
We got a fourth mic. We should
we should just give him the fourth mic.
Yeah, next episode.
But I feel he's our new Parks.
Yeah.
But I really feel like the album isn't as great as it is if it wasn't for the engineering, what Mike Dean did for its like sound, its production.
You talking about Travis?
Yeah. I think it's the cleanest, sharpest, beautiful sounding album I've heard in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. In regards to just the crisp of how everything punches.
I get it. The
and how everything comes through.
The quality of it.
Yeah. So I think also that relates to similarly to this album, where because of how it sounds, because of how rich it sounds, because of all the butter, you know what I mean? Like it has that flavor, but it's not great music.
No, I hear you. I personally think it was his experiment album.
Travis?
The Weeknd.
Experimenting what?
Experimenting new sounds.
I still follow that conspiracy, but I won't
I
know
don't
until
think it's
next
new
week.
sounds, because I don't think it's
for
too
him.
different.
It is. He never touched this 80 sound.
There was that.
This-
No, there was the 160 BPM joint that was on the last album. Not Starboy, not
was
the
like
song.
91.
Not the song, but
Definitely getting shot.
no.
his bike.
There's another song that was a single, False Alarm. That was like
What was the one?
That took me back to the
What was the
80s.
one at 110 BPMs?
After
Well,
Hours.
I'm saying consistently. I'm
Earlier.
talking about
Earlier.
him.
The last album.
I'm saying him using this 80 sound, this
I feel it
80
coming.
sound consistently.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
whatever. What you call it is that these songs are 170, 160, 170 BPM or something like that. This is a sound that obviously he's introduced us to from him, that he wanted to get in. He wanted to dive into deeper.
I only disagree with this because when he joined Republic, that's the label he's on, right? Republic.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best album, but
Y'all listen to the deluxe?
yeah.
The what?
Deluxe album. It just dropped.
No.
I didn't see that.
Oh no, I haven't.
A JBP joke, but
Stupid. So when he dropped that album, the first official album on Republic, like he sampled Precious Little Diamond by Fox to Fox.
Yeah.
Like that was 100% in 80s style. And I think I can't remember that album very well, but I remember purchasing that album, and there are moments of going back. Starboy, the Daft Punk production stuff, he uses those drawn out synth sounds in tracks, in those tracks as well. And yeah, I think it's like he's always, House of Balloons is an 80s song. Like that sample,
and that's what I'm saying.
is
That's
an
always,
80s sample.
and that's always been his thing.
He goes
But-
back to the drug era of
he
the
dived
white
into
girl
it, this
drug era
album.
of the 80s, and he brought it back to now.
Dived into that shit this
Yeah.
album,
The deep
and I
end.
don't think it could be ahead of its time. People don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and that could be the reason why it's not
That's
getting
possible.
the flowers that it may deserve. Same thing when Kanye released 808s and Heartbreaks. When the shit came out, people were like, "This ain't it, bro."
Yeah.
I really liked it, but
I
was
mean,
also very.
a handful. Your opinion is biased when it comes to Kanye. Though.
I was very emo.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
emo
saying.
I remember first listening, I was like, "Oh God, this is too depressing."
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
what I'm saying. Most people are like, "This is not it. This is not it." But if you play that shit today, people will be like, "Yo, I slept on this album."
Same with Yeezus.
Exactly, same thing. And I think that could possibly be what this Weeknd album is. It's just ahead of time. People don't appreciate it because they don't understand it. It's not relatable.
I will say this. If you like this Weeknd album, or if you need more understanding of this musical approach, listen to Kavinsky's last album. And it's the Night Calls, the lead single, and it's the lead single to the movie Drive with what's his name?
Don Cheadle?
No.
Don't look at me.
It was an independent.
Ryan
Gosling. Yeah, great movie, great soundtrack. But if you listen to Kavinsky's whole album, it's almost like The Weeknd looked at this album and was like, I want to do what he did, like whatever it was, 6-7 years ago. So yeah, for the music lovers.
You wouldn't say Can't Feel My Face was also kind of in the same world?
How does that one go?
I can't feel my face.
Yeah, that's throw. It's just not the hard drug doing fucking hard synth.
That was directed for a radio. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
that was
I think rumor was he didn't even want to do that song because it was a label song.
That was the album before Starboy, and then I feel it come in with Daft Punk on Starboy, and then now almost a full album around the same category. It feels like I think it's him doubling down on the bag more than it is on
exactly. My point is him diving more into this sound than he usually does. Usually he'll give us 1 or 2 tracks that have that sound that he's always introduced us, like you said, from House of Balloons. You know, it's always been that sound, a little bit more melodic. You know what I mean? More if you add more of the trap sound bit as far as the drums come, especially more so on House of Balloons than anything else. But I think on this album he dived into this fucking sound. Like he was like, I'm going to give them this shit because this is what is me and this is what I want to present. And that's why I said this is the experiment, because it's not necessarily what he thinks his audience or his fan base wants to hear, but what he truly wanted to put out and understand. People may not resonate with them. They may not translate with them.
Where I disagree with the comparison to the 808s and I brought up Yeezus into the same situation because it's a similar situation. But where I disagree with that is, number one, Yeezus and 808s and even Graduation were all presented new sounds like that weren't really in hip hop at the time. So it created this like palette that we weren't used to until we seasoned our palette, right?
Yeah.
And then now this to me isn't, like you said, it's not what Danger said. You know, this is, you could see comparisons and things that sound similar years ago. So I don't think he's introducing a sound really.
Yeah, look, I don't think he's introducing a sound either. I think he's just diving into the sound that he already gave us. He's giving more than what he's giving us.
I don't think people are going to grow on this out.
But again, I'm saying that could be a possibility. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm not saying this could possibly be an album that is ahead of its time. I'm not saying that's what it is. It could be. You know what I mean? 6 months from now, I could listen back to this shit and be like, you know what? This shit is actually kind of fucking hard.
I was listening to it on the drive up today, like the first 3-4 songs, and I was like, yeah, man, like I get it. Like I'm really into this shit. But his bag is heartbreak and drugs. When he doesn't talk about heartbreak and drugs, when he gets lovey-dovey, sure, it sounds beautiful, but that's not, and I wouldn't even say corny. Me personally, it's just not what you want to hear from The Weeknd. Like those memes and tweets of his ex-girl, what was her name?
Bella Hadid.
Bella Hadid breaking his heart. Like yeah, it's fucked up. She broke his heart, but we appreciate him breaking his heart because he gave us his body of work. Like that shit had me rolling. That shit had me laughing, but
out loud.
Laughing out loud. Yeah, I was like, that's fucked up. But yeah, that's sometimes it takes, some shit like that to put out, to stick to your brand. Like, all right, this bitch fucked me up. All right, well, I'm gonna go in on her.
Right.
And then boom. Yeah, I think this is you guys, maybe not you two in particular, but people need to continue to listen to, especially if we start heading towards that double time sound like Blinding Lights. And
I hate that song.
Oh
Actually,
man, I like that song. I really like that song. But especially if we start heading down that route and then labels catch on, they say, oh, it worked for them. It worked for Dua Lipa. It worked for him. We should start doing stuff like this with our pop artists. Then you're going to look back at this album and say, you know, yeah, they were on it. They were ahead of the time.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, it's all perspective and just opinionated. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of 80s. I'm just not a fan of that specific 80s sound.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's just, it doesn't do anything for me. And I get it. Like, trust me, 80% of my gigs are for white people. So I spend a lot of that 80s shit. And it doesn't move me. I'm stiff when I'm DJing and I'm just like, all right, cool. I get it. You guys love this shit. So again, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
You guys can love it. Joe loves it.
What would you guys say comparable to, and obviously this is our opinion. We're not saying this is what it is, but highly anticipated album from The Weeknd didn't quite live up to what we thought it would be. Any other albums you guys might have felt that way about?
I don't think so, because again, we talked about this, I think a pod or two ago, where we were just like, there's nothing there for us. There's albums for us to compare it to. So we're always going to compare it to whatever his prior pieces of work were. We're always going to relate it to the House of Balloons.
I'm saying any artist.
What you call it? Thursday. Oh, but that's what I'm saying. It's not, you brought up Roddy Ricch, right? This is Roddy Ricch's first album, correct?
But he's not talking about Roddy Ricch's album though. Like we're comparing it to that. He's saying, has there ever been an album in the past that was a letdown? You had high hopes for it.
And I'm saying why it would be a letdown. Absolutely. I'm saying why most albums that are anticipated to be great are not, because we have something to compare it to.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying? We have older Weeknd albums or projects to compare whatever his newest one was.
Yeah.
The reason why we look at, and my point of bringing Roddy Ricch was, this is his first album. There's nothing really to compare his album, a whole body of work to.
For him.
Outside of the couple of singles that he put out with Nipsey or, whoever, there's nothing to compare it to. We say this all the time. Nas's, Illmatic. Well, nothing would be better than that. Nothing would be better than Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. You know what I mean? As much as I think the Black Album plays a close second to it, nothing will ever be better than that. It's always either that first or second album of an artist's career that we always cling on as a whole, the masses. Obviously, individually, people will call it.
So wait, are you saying that every album after the first one or two it doesn't
no,
get to
and
that's
not necessarily the case. That's not necessarily the case at all, because we can be here all day talking about certain artists. I'm saying
we actually are here all day. We're about 2 hours.
Yeah. The reason why
you guys wanted content. We give you content.
Exactly.
You ain't got shit
The album, it was highly anticipated.
Go back and clean your dresser.
The album was highly anticipated because we had prior work to compare it to.
Well,
right?
also, he hasn't put out an album in 4 years.
Yeah.
I would say, and the rollout was super dope. Like the dude's running around Vegas. He goes on the late night shows, ties in the late night show into his music video. He's got a bloody face. He's all fucked up. He just killed a person in the latest video. So yeah, the everything leading up to this album has been incredible and produces high hopes from individuals.
Absolutely.
But I will say that first album on Republic, for lack of better words, was more of a letdown than this, because everyone knows him for those first 3 mixtapes to be some of the best music to ever come out in that generation or that time.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 mixtapes in 2 years or 3 in 3 years. So you were getting a consistent body of work from him, and then he puts out the Republic album and you're just like,
yeah.
I
say J Electronica. Everybody, that was highly anticipated. And that was just like, and I mean, it was, don't get me wrong, the album was fire, but it wasn't fire because of J Electronica. With all due respect to him. You know what I mean? He did a solid job on it.
I mean, it's Watch the Throne too, to me.
Yeah, that made me think back to a lot of albums that came out in the 90s, and I think of this because when a single came out that was dope, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna buy the album because I support this artist. But I can't. There's so many albums that came out where I bought it because of the single, and the album was just very and it was kind of disappointing because this artist to be a part of, this artist's track record and everything they put out was dope.
Yeah.
Like that happened a lot in the 90s, but obviously you don't have to worry about that now because you can stream.
Well, and
If you're a
leaks.
fan, you can leak, you can stream, or what you can check the leaks and stream. You know, back then if you were a fan of something, you supported it, and if you didn't like it, you just didn't play it again.
Yeah.
Or you went back to that CD for the 2 or 3 songs that you liked.
Yeah.
I got another question for y'all. Since you talked about, anticipation. Is there an artist that has put out 2 or 3 projects and they have consistently been as good, if not better, than the previous one that he or she has released?
Kanye.
Yeah.
Anyone else you could think of?
Well,
we're saying Kanye's what? Which one of the Kanye's?
Up until when?
Yeah, because
well, you said 2 to 3.
2 or 3.
So if I went for a pocket, that was 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Late registration, graduation, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
That's growth.
That's the growth. Yep, absolutely.
Because it's hard to put College Dropout ahead of Late Registration. For me.
Okay.
I would say Ice Cube's first 3 albums after
Okay.
NWA, and then he started making movies and didn't care. So
Nipsey Hussle.
But Nipsey only has 1 album, technically.
I'm saying projects. Let's say projects.
Sure.
Let's say projects.
Okay, projects.
Projects.
Fair.
Crenshaw. Victory Lap. What's the one with the bell box one?
Victory Lap was the last one. Well,
Victory Lap was his actual album.
Right.
Yeah.
Victory Lap is such a great piece of work.
It was great. And that's how you knew that he got the money. He had, the production was there. He was able to mess with. Listen, we be here all day talking about albums. We be here all day talking about albums.
We gave you each one. And I would say Chance, I think, what had the one for me where very hyped expectations for his
and then
after Coloring Book, and it just
that's a good one.
Didn't quite
that
hit
last one, man.
the way it should have.
I just didn't understand it.
Look, I don't have a significant other. I'm not married. I'm not at that point in my life. That's where that content was, and I'm sure it hit for a lot of other people. But
I do, and I did at the time that it came out, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
And again, it could be my fault because I'm always going to compare
Sure.
his current stuff to his prior stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we've given plenty of content for this episode. If you want to keep up with us and everything else that we got going on, of course, SiriusXM.
Yep.
Please.
Yeah.
Catch us.
Next mix is going to be Presto.
Presto.
Yeah, Presto
from
and
Vegas.
Rell.
Yes,
DJ
sir.
Presto 1 and DJ Rell.
Y'all know how talented Presto's mix is. Obviously, we 3 have heard it already, and he gets busy with his cuts in the
Yes,
mix.
sir.
Oh, and shout out to Presto for using my Pure Water remix.
There it is.
So yeah, globalization mixes. Continue to check those out.
Yeah, SiriusXM, Channel 13, Tuesday nights,
8 p.m.
Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m.
Eastern
Standard Time. Please stay safe, stay home.
Yeah.
Keep yourself occupied, and just keep making progress. Every day is an opportunity for you to grow one way or the other.
Sir.
Speaking of the devil, just sent me a mix saying, I hope the mix was good enough for you guys. Bro.
Presto said that?
Yeah. Presto.
Yo,
get the fuck out of here.
You know why I love Presto? You know why I love Presto and why I love guys, people like Presto? It's
right.
because
right.
We're cutting that clip together.
we view them as such a high standard.
Yeah.
We put them on a pedestal, and they're one of the most humblest people that you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't, in the industry, you don't experience that a lot.
No.
People who are that value usually come a little arrogant, and it's just like whatever. You know what I mean?
You got to figure out how to have a dope brand and be humble.
And still
cool
be humble, man.
at the
And
same time.
I mean, I get it when you got everyone.
It's tricky. For some reason, it's tricky. I don't know why, but it's tricky.
Everyone around you is kissing your ass, so you kind of like, yeah, man, I'm that dude, blah, 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 or I'm that girl, or whatever it is, the case is. But it's just, I appreciate that. Like, for him to send you that text is dope. Like,
and the man, it's a testament to his strength, not only as a personality, as a human being, but like, make sure to keep up with him. And
yes, please do.
We've definitely touched on his story and the amazing things that he's done
And overcome.
and what he's overcome.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I think that is just a reflection of why, you know, Presto's a great person and DJ.
And he's always had his doors open to the DJ community.
100%.
Anybody that's ever wanted to rock on the Roctagon. I mean, sorry, not the Roctagon, the
The octagon.
the Octagon. But what does he call it? The
The Death
Star.
Star.
Death Star,
Death Star.
Death or deaf?
Deaf.
Deaf.
But yeah, anybody that's ever wanted to, and you know, not just anybody, but people that he's had a couple conversations with, he's always opened the doors to those people, and it is a full-on nerd out and learning opportunity.
He was the first guy to comment on my mini mix.
Nice.
He's the first one. Thanks.
Right on.
Love you, bro.
There it is. Episode 39.
In the books.
In the books, baby.
Go watch Dave.
We won't even give you music picks. Trying to get the fuck out of here.
Yep. We got to record these drops for our other.
We're gonna give you. It's gonna be all weekend picks
next
anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's come back next week and see if we still feel the same way about the Weeknd album.
Man, fuck that. Party Next Door is dropping tonight.
Let's talk about
Party
that too.
Next Door, baby.
Let's talk about both next week.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Peace. I still have a conspiracy that the Weeknd did a dud album to set up Party Next Door to put out an album, and he's got one in the tuck,
No
and then
way.
he's gonna take out Party
No
Next
way.
Door.
If he does, he is God.
Yo, telling you,
There's no way.
bruh,
There's no way.
he's rich enough.
I don't believe it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't believe it.